Hello, this is Nina and Kira. I hope you're all doing well out there. Today I was guided to sit down and actually talk about the ego construct and what the purpose of the ego construct originally was meant to be, and how the ego construct kind of, in most cases, I believe, function today for many people. But before I get into that, if you are new to my channel, welcome and thank you for being here. My name is Nina, and I call my channel Channeling Kira because Kira is my eternal self who is also in contact with, of course, the God source energy and other entities that might want to communicate with us. And so Kira is the way in for me as a human self, as Nina. So that's why I chose to call the channel Channeling Kira. Okay. So if you're new, then I can tell you that sometimes I channel directly, but that's not so often. Mostly I channel on my own and I write things down and then I share as my human self with you guys afterwards. But sometimes when I sit here and talk, Kira wants to come through and explain things a little bit more in her way, and so she does. So we really don't know what's going to happen from day to day when we sit down, but that's the way it is. Anyways, but today we felt guided to talk about the ego. And the ego construct was, of course, originally designed to, well, of course, the brain itself will steer the body and take care of the body functions, that is the main purpose of the brain. But the ego construct is designed to protect the body. And so the ego, if we go around believing that we are only the physical, that we are only our brain and our ego without any other spiritual or energy entity, then that's when we will listen only to the ego. And so ego will make up stories also because it will draw on experiences that it has had from before. So if you have experienced something in the past that has been hurtful, then your ego will, because it's always in the protective mode, it will make up stories or remind you of that fact over and over and over again to make you not go into that situation. But ego is a little bit more tricky than that as well. And ego in the position that we are in right now, because if you found this channel and if you are watching this, I believe that you are open to the fact that we are more than just the physical, that we are in fact an energy body and a spiritual entity that is experiencing life through this physical body. And so what's happening now when you are waking up to that fact and when you are integrating that eternal part that is you into the physical self, the ego will fight it, okay? Because ego has been taught to protect. Ego has been taught that it is the protector and that it is the one who's supposed to protect and supposed to take care of the physical. So when this soul or this eternal self comes into the body, it's viewed actually kind of as an enemy, because then it will lose control, right? If you allow the eternal self to kind of come more and more into your everyday and make decisions from your heart and from your soul space and from the eternal self, then ego will kind of lose its power, right? And the ego is constructed to take care of the body, to protect, and so it will fight it. So that's what's going on. And that's why ego can make up all sorts of different stories that is actually not true. So be aware of this as you go through this transformation, or as you go through this merging of the eternal and the physical. Okay, so that's something to think about. For me, I recognize when ego comes in and says something, because sometimes it's difficult to hear the difference between your ego mind and your spiritual, between the kind of the mind and the eternal self, right? And to that, I can say that if it's critical, it's always from the ego, because the eternal self will not critique. The eternal self sees that everything is perfect just the way it is, right? So if it is criticism, or if it's you can't do it, or you shouldn't do this, or that's dangerous, then it's the ego. If it is from love, then it's eternal self. So that's kind of the difference, and you have to feel this, because you can feel it with your energy as well. Who's what or what's what, right? So it is a matter of tuning into the heart frequency or love frequency, and tuning into the soul part of you to be able to move forward, and to make decisions from there. So I encourage you to meditate and to get to know that voice that is your eternal self better and better and better. It is a practice. It will take time, but it's very important. And ego is not to be killed off. I know that some teachers out there say that it's the death of the ego. No, ego is here, and it will still be here to protect the physical. It's nothing wrong with ego as such, because it's doing the job it was designed to do. But the problem is that we have forgotten that we are an eternal self as well. So the balance that was supposed to be there has been off, right? So when ego learns that, ego needs to learn this, and ego needs to learn how to trust this. So when that happens, then you will be in that balance. Okay? So that's just a little short message for today that I wanted to convey out there. I was just guided to talk a little bit about that. And I hope you're all doing very well. And if you have any questions, if you have any topics that you would like me to address, then please then write something below in the comments section, and I will make sure to include that in my next video. Okay? So wishing you the very best out there. Until the next time I see you. Bye.